loves, welcome to Moon Tarot. So today is Namjoon's birthday, and as usual we're doing a reading on birthday blessings that are coming for him in the next solar cycle. So I've already shuffled the cards, and initially I wanted to do what I did for Jungkook's birthday blessings reading, but the cards sort of jumped out at me. These cards, one here and these ones here, they jumped out at me, and I didn't feel the need to clarify them with another deck as I did for Jacket's birthday reading. So we're just gonna go with these cards here, and then we also have some oracle cards here to give us some more clarification, and then at the end we're gonna shuffle this deck together to get a final message for Namjoon's birthday blessing. Before we get into the reading, I have to say, as usual, if you watch my other readings, you know that I do a little meditation before I get into any reading, just trying to connect to the energy of the person or people that I'm doing the reading on. And this time when I was doing my meditation, kind of trying to connect to Namjoon's energy, I felt his aura in a light blue color. You know, the color that we usually associate him with, or I always associate him with. But it's a very, it's not, well, unsettling is not the perfect word for it, but it's not the usual calming sense that you get from light blue. There's some sort of tossing and turning, some sort of worrying energy about it, and I couldn't really grasp what it meant with that feeling. But I guess the sense that June is, his mind is always restless, and at this time of the year he is meant to take a break. They were officially kind of on a break from what they used to do before, but somehow June still has a lot on his plate. He still worries a lot. And it's not like somebody puts pressure on him. It's just the way his mind works. It puts a lot of pressure onto himself. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's the sense of, I think he mentioned this before, he's on a break, but he feels like he shouldn't be resting. He feels bad doing nothing, but at the same time he feels bad not taking the break seriously. So he's in a dilemma himself. He created the whole dilemma himself, and from that he feels unsettling, he feels unsatisfied, he feels uneasy, and it broke my heart feeling that. And so I got into this reading kind of, I don't know, I don't know what I was expecting shuffling the cards, but they jumped out. I had to look at them and they make sense. So without further ado, just let's have a look at the tarot cards together. So initially I wanted to do one card for, you know, the blessings that are coming from Namjoon in his career, personal life, personal relationships, and personal development, but these just jumped out at me and I had to take them, and they felt really right. So there's no distinctions of what blessings are coming in which area in Namjoon's life. They are all connected in a way, I guess. So there are 5 of them. That's why I felt like I don't need another deck to clarify. But let's have a look. The first one here, we have the Star, which is beautiful. And yeah, this is the sort of blue color that I saw in my meditation. The star is always a token of hope. So this, I guess this is initially the blessings of the tarot deck. So what we're talking about birthday blessings are coming from to Namjoon in the next solar cycle. There will be a lot of inspiration. There will be a lot of wishes coming true. There will be a lot of like eureka moment. There's a lot of enlightening moment or epiphany moment, even moments even for June. I do feel like these moments, these like sparkles of hope, come in the time when Namjoon were kind of lost, because we can see what you call this, like a valley of rocks. This reminds me so much of the central of Australia. You know, you can easily get lost in the desert somewhere, and then it's nighttime when you look up this at the sky and you saw a bright shooting star. You feel like, oh my god, that's where I should go. There's still hope. That's the direction that I should take. I'll make it out of here. I'll make it out alive. That's the feeling of this card. So yes, the biggest blessing coming to Namjoon in this next 12 months is that hope. He realized that there's just so much hope around him. It doesn't matter how stuck he feels. There will always someone or something that happened at the right time, the perfect timing, that gives Namjoon the sparkle of hope and keeps him moving on. But also, I don't feel like this is a sustainable way of spending out his energies. You know, the energy that I talked about with the blue aura. Yes, hope is always around, and we need hope to keep carrying on. But we can just rely on them every time. You know, we cannot just repeat the cycle of, you know, being devastated and looking for hope and clinging on to that to carry on for the next short while and then hoping that the next ray of hope will come. I don't think that's sustainable, and I don't think that is the best way to do. But as I said, there's so much going on here. It's the same, but there's so much going on in Namjoon's life, not life, mind, maybe life as well. That came out of nowhere. But yeah, he has so much going on in his mind, and it's difficult to declutter or to unravel all the layers that has been stacked up throughout the years. So I guess the next 12 months, this is what it is. This is the biggest blessings that coming to Namjoon. It's just this rays of hope that will keep him moving through. I do feel like this kind of struggle or uneasy, unsettling feeling is gonna last for the next possibly 2 or 3 to 4 years for Namjoon, and then this is his next lesson or next, you know, level that he needs to walk through. Man, I feel heavy. Okay, let's move on to the next card. The Hanged One. I mean, it's the same kind of blue, the blue that I see, but we have the Northern Lights, or like the auras. Aurelis dancing here, which is another sign of, you know, hope. But yeah, I was talking about the feeling of being stuck and just waiting for something to happen, or just waiting for the next, you know, sparkle to happen, to get a little bit of recharge and to keep moving. I think it is exactly where Namjoon is right now. He's a little bit stuck. He's in between. He's supposed to rest, but he feels bad not doing anything. But if he does something, if he works, he will feel bad not taking advantages of the rest. But also, it's not just about the break, the rest, doing what he likes, getting involved in the art scene. I'm hearing a lot of like the responsibility of a leader. I think I talked about this before, but Namjoon is always being encouraged to share more of his leader responsibility and of what he thinks about his role, his responsibility in the group. He's always being encouraged not only by the members but also by his like spiritual team to share more of what he thinks. But he has not. He has been like keeping a lot of the majority, I would say 95%, of what he thinks surrounding his job and how he feels, keeping them all within himself. And it's just, you know, this is what he has shared with people, with his members, with the fans, just the tip of the iceberg. Classic saying, but it really is. And I feel like he's getting wary. Namjoon's getting wary because of trying to navigate through all of this himself. I've never felt this heavy looking at the star card, and then the hangman came out and it's like, oh my god, yeah, it is what it is. I had to take these cards. But okay, let's have a look at other cards. We have many to go through. Here we have the Temperance. At least there's some red here to break, to you know, mix up the energies a little bit. Usually this is not what I get from the Temperance. The Temperance is always portrayed by something really peaceful and tranquil, you know, like the serenity of things. But in this scene, there's so much going on. There's a volcano, there's lava pouring through, mixing into water. So I think like another blessings are coming to Namjoon in this year. It's just a lot of external stimulation, not just the right condition, but also like the right opportunities and the right kind of new energy, new people possibly mixing into his life, getting like becoming really significant in his life, and by that adds a lot of positive changes into Namjoon's life, Namjoon's energy, and how he handled the situation that we've been talking about. He's getting some red to his blue, and the red is always like, you know, passion, something fast going, fast changing, something that's exciting. Ooh, I'm hearing like a really fiery collaboration. Not like Sexy no Kim. Sexy no Kim is like, I don't know how to describe it, but this is, if it is a collaboration, it's a very like hard and heavy and fast paced and, you know, like really exploding kind of messages or vibes. So that's just exciting to look forward to. The Temperance here doesn't give me the vibes of like taking a rest at all. Yeah, like the mixing of the lava and the water gives me the feelings of like, you know, being really productive while being at rest. And I think that's ultimately what Namjoon wants. He just doesn't know how to get there yet. I feel like he's still here. So maybe these opportunity will come in about, I'm hearing like 4 to 5 months. So January, February, is what we can expect. The next card we have here, the Great Work. Oh my god, this is nice because it's the same kind of color palette. It's the Great Work, and oh my god, yes, this color. If this would be the collaboration, it would be huge. And this feels like, oh, this is a special card that only comes with this deck. I reckon it's the sunrise. Oh, it could be the real release of his mixtape next year. So maybe he will open with a collaboration and then follow up to that with his solo album. this is awesome. And it's Leo here, so maybe Leo season, but I'm not quite sure. I don't think it would be Leo season. I'm hearing April, so that is Aries season, which makes sense. We have a lot of fire here. There's also Sagittarius here. Great, the great work. Since it's a sunrise, it is essentially the opening of a new era, the opening of new day. Hopefully, like the closing of this chapter right here will lead to the opening of the new era. Yeah, and then the last card we have here, Strength. Oh, oh, wait, no. Jesus Christ, this is Leo and this is not. This is not Leo. My bad. I'm really bad with symbols. But okay. So scratch that. I said arrows. Aries season. And then we have strength. We're closing it with strength, which is great. And these card reminds me so much of Namjoon. It's just, it's peaceful. It's somewhere in Switzerland, I suppose. Namjooning. It's mountain. I reckon it's early of the day as well, after the sun rises. It gives me sense of peace. So maybe by this time next year, this is where Namjoon would be. I mean mentally, but maybe physically as well. He might have another trip to Switzerland just for a vacation, and nothing work related. But I I have the feeling the next 12 months Namjoon would have to go through a lot, emotionally, mentally, to get out this stage, and getting inspired again, getting stimulated again in terms of work, and also in terms of passion for life, how he would live his life moving forward, where he draws his inspiration from. There might be a lot of change in that, and then he will arrive at a place of much, of the next level maturity, and of the next level of peace of mind, which is great, which is awesome. It seems heavy, and like Namjoon always has a lot of intellectual power, and that comes with a lot to process. So it's no surprise. But okay, let's have a look at the oracle cards here. We have Hearth, if I'm pronouncing it right, and Vesta. I'm gonna read this from the book actually because I have no idea what it is. It just gives me the feeling of keeping the fire alive. And I guess it goes back to fire as being inspiration, passion, the will to live, the will to carry on, the will to be inspired, the will to shine, the desire to keep everyone warm. But okay, we're gonna read it from the book a bit later after we look through all these cards here. And then we have Thriving. I love this. I love this card. This card is also have another meaning of like looking at the bigger picture, taking yourself out of the picture to have a more what is the word? A more overall look. Like looking at things from afar, from another perspective. I think that would be an advice to June. Whenever he got stuck, he will be able to mentally take himself out of the situation and look at the situation as someone else, from someone else's perspective, and then he will find possible solutions for his problem. But also Thriving. This is telling me that he will draw inspirations and ideas in the hardest of times. But it doesn't mean, well, maybe he has always done that. So then having a hard time it gradually becomes like a habit to him, and he feels like he thrives in like harder conditions, but maybe that's not true. um, Maybe he can thrive in like not so hard conditions in a way. No, I don't know where I'm getting at this, but I'm having these feelings of like John would tell himself like, okay, I need to go through all these struggles, all these sleepless nights, all these restless feelings, because that's how I draw inspiration. If I don't go through this, I won't have anything, like I don't have, my creativity will run dry. But I don't think that's true. It's just the way he has been conditioned himself throughout these years. And of course it was true for the most part of their career, of his career. But maybe it's not so true anymore. Maybe there is other ways, or there's others methods now that he doesn't have to, you know, force himself into struggles to get something out of it, in terms of like creativity and imaginations and things like that. But I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. At this point, it's just so much information in this card. But nonetheless, thriving is a great card. There's just a little bit of, you know, like not even a warning, but advice for you to look at things from a different perspective. And the next card we have here, we have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth is happening. Again, we're having this bluish color, and it's I'm looking at the strength card at the moment. At the same time, it does give me, well, normally Lemuria, this particular card gives me the feeling of temperance, which we have here, but it delivered a different meaning. So with this card here, I'm guessing the next big blessings are coming for June in the next 12 months is just finding his inner temple, finding the temple of peace within himself, and building the sacred place in his heart, in his own body, to retreat and rejuvenate his energy within himself, so he doesn't have to rely on the external factors or on the external environment, on the external struggle to thrive. He can thrive by creating this virtual, not virtual, this, what is it, this peace of mind for himself. Also, John is, well, again, being in nature, being close to water, especially, or going hiking in winter in like snow-covered mountains would be a really great like remedy for June, or great getaway for June. It's very random. Yeah, something about Switzerland or New Zealand. Yeah, or like the north of Europe, Northern Europe. Would be a really great retreat for June. The next card we have here, Mirror. Mirror, who or what is triggering you. Again, I talked about, you know, building an inner temple within himself. This mirroring image gives me just that, like looking within himself. He will find the answers for all his problems. And as I said before, someone who is as intellectually awoke like Namjoon, they create their own problem and they solve their own problem. That is, you know, their lifetime challenge or mission. They always ask questions and solve those questions to be able to progress in life and to be able to make their life worthwhile and to be able to make the big changes in the world and for humanity. That's what they are. That's why they're here on this planet. But yes, I think there will be moments, there will be people who trigger or stimulate or inspire moments for June to look within himself, to look at himself and create the inner temple for himself. Okay, the last card we have here, it light attracts light. If you long for more love, be more loving. I think this is the, oh my god, what is the word? Reinforcement of what I felt with this Temperance card here. Is just like people, there will be more people. Oh yes, with this kind of energy, this kind of aura, like the oranges reddish aura, there will be more people with this energy, this aura appearing, coming into June life and make a significant effect on his life, his energy in the next 12 months. They show him love, and well, not love in the romantic sense, but love in all senses. And they will inspire him to make peace with himself, which is a beautiful thing. And I think that is one of the hardest lessons that we all need to learn being here on this planet, is just to build a really strong, good relationship with ourselves, with our soul. But okay, I think that's all. Let's draw one last card to see if the thing that coming to Namjoon in the next 12 months. Oh my god. And then we will read from the book for this card. Jesus Christ. I think we'll take this one. It's really jumpy today. That's what I'm picking up about, being unsettled, being uneasy. But we have, oh, protection and monarch butterfly. This is so nice. Yeah, I think it's just like the reassurance that Namjoon's always protected and he's destined for big thing. Like, with monarch. When I see this, I immediately heard like king, king, king. Is this destined for so much? Namjoon's destined to make to be such a significant figure or icon in our generation. And that inevitably puts a lot of pressure on him, and I think he knows that, he feels that as well. Even though he's humble about it, he knows and he feels in his heart that he has this big responsibility rest upon his shoulders. So, but he's protected by all means, by all the people that love him, and by his spiritual team. And with great power comes great responsibility. So it makes sense of everything that we've talked about in this reading. And let me read from the book for this card here, Hearth, and we will close the reading here. So Vesta, Hearth. Vesta calls you to be a hearth fire, to share yourself for the benefit of all, but still have enough energy left to live healthfully and give again another day. The second largest and brightest asteroid between Jupiter and Mars was named after Vesta, oldest goddess of hearth, home, the family, and the center of a strong community. The fire in her temple was never allowed to go out, and the fire in the hearth of every home was sacred to her. She did not get involved in politics or the misadventures of the other gods. Oh, this when I read about this, I was like, this is exactly the card for Namjoon. Um, you know, he shared himself for the benefit of all, but he needs to keep the energies for himself to live healthily and to carry on. And also so much that we talked about, you know, Namjoon for president and all those things, and all the political involvement with BTS lately. He would not get into politics, at least at this point. Um, he keeps himself very grounded and true to what he set out to do, which is art and making difference, making changes through art. If you hear the noises, is the vacuum cleaner getting started outside. But we will soon done with this, and bear with me for a moment. To continue, action, evaluate yourself and your life. Each human's task is to help reduce the total suffering on earth and increase the total joy. Your joy and suffering matter as much, neither more nor less than anyone else's. Do not burn yourself up for another's cause, nor withhold your warmth, but share what you have to offer. This is not a situation where you need to take sides. Come back to the center, to the flame, to your heart and your core values. Focus on the center flame instead of the personalities involved. Remember what matters. Find that deep calm within. Light a candle with a prayer and use it to bring your focus to the center and let the rest fall away. Then decide, advise, and operate from there. It may be time to take a retreat. No, not this one. A retreat, or like the strength card. A chance to clear yourself, clear your energy fields, cleanse your environment, reclaim your temple. If a relationship is truly of value and important to your soul, the person or team you're involved with will honor your process. Challenge, Vesta wants you to share yourself rather than sacrifice yourself. Your hard work at holding the situation together may be ignored or taken for granted unless you know your worth. Gift, find the temple within, the place of quiet safety where you can tend the fire and carry this sacred temple with you always. It's the perfect recap of everything that we've discussed so far in this reading, and I feel it's perfect to close the reading right here. Yeah, so I do feel like the blessings that come into Namjoon in the next 12 months is all about him learning himself on how to draw inspiration from within and how to carry on in a sustainable way with his energy and with his responsibility, all together with the fire that he's destined to carry and pass on, like to spread out in our generation. But yeah, this is where I should close the reading, and I really enjoy doing it. Thank you so much for being with me through this. It sounds like a hard thing, but it was kind of a heavy reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's stay happy, healthy, positive wherever you are, and be safe as always. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.